Let's jump into this. So, want to start off by saying I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. On this lovely October the 21st, I'm personally coming to you live from sunny Southern California, and hope your weather is just as bright wherever you are. I want to say thank you to all of these sellers joining us in the audience, the chat, the gallery, whatever you'd like to refer to yourselves as, and welcome you to our session on planning and preparing for the holiday season. Today, we'll be discussing holiday seasons in the Amazon store and how you can best prepare for them as a seller. So I'm Jordan Williams. I will be your presenter for today, and I'm an account representative on the Boss team. Our guest speaker is Dariush Sabi. He will be our expert on the related topics we discussed today, and he's a veteran account representative on the RAD team. And our awesome moderator is going to be Connor Bennett. He's one of our teammates, and he will be fielding your questions as they come into the chat. And so to help you prepare for the holiday season, we'll be discussing submission deadlines, fulfillment by Amazon or FBA, advertising, and a few other topics. After covering some frequently asked questions, we'll take some questions from the audience, and let's jump right into things. So there can be some confusion around submission deadlines for the holiday season. Let's talk about these deadlines, both in terms of getting your inventory to our fulfillment centers and as the and for scheduling deals and promotions. The key date that you guys needed to know about was September 17th. That was the cutoff for Thanksgiving submissions. But there is still time for you guys to get some lead up deals so that you guys can get some product placement, some marketing efforts as we head into the holiday season there. So check your deals page and make sure you guys are running deals in the weeks leading up to the events, and make sure that the holidays and make sure that you guys are running deals and coupons leading up to the holidays and those shopping events in November. And a few questions you guys might be asking yourselves are, if I want to be sure my inventory is available for the holiday season, how early do I need to ship it in? How early do I need to ship it out? If I want to run deals during the holiday season, how long do I have? And Dariush, do you think you could answer some of those questions?
Yeah, of course. So starting off with fulfillment, you really don't want to procrastinate when it comes to sending in FBA inventory for the holiday season. You want to make sure that your units arrive early so you can guarantee availability to your customers. Typically, Amazon provides official dates that guarantee availability for holiday selling. As of now, these dates have yet to be officially announced. However, in the past, they have been the last Friday of October or the first Friday of November. So turning to deals, as holiday seasons approach, Amazon begins to load recommended deals into your deals page. So you can find these recommendations by selecting the advertising tab on Seller Central and then choosing deals. On the following page, there will be a button where you can select create new deal. And here you'll be able to see if you have any deal recommendations based on the products in your inventory. So during the high traffic dates of Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday, deal submissions were open until September 17th, as Jordan just announced. So we really do hope you got your deals submitted. However, if you didn't get a chance to submit deals prior to the submission date, we will offer some lead up deals in November and December. So it may be worth it to continue reviewing that tab just to see if any recommendations do pop up. Also, as you may have seen, we have made outlet deals even easier to run. So outlet deals can be a great way to help you move some excess inventory while also building your rankings in preparation for the holiday season. Overall, outlet deals can just be a great way to improve your inventory performance index, which is also known as your IPI score, just by increasing your sell-through rate and then opening up more space to restock units that may sell a little better.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Dariush. And yeah, that search rank and the getting that early rank before the actual holiday rush is super key and important. Let's take things over to FBA now. Whoops. Yeah. So sellers who are using FBA may have some specific questions regarding the holiday season. Dariush, do you have any best practices for getting product into FBA or just some tips as we head into the holiday season?
Yeah, I sure do. So as I just discussed, make sure you send in your inventory sooner rather than later. The fulfillment centers are super busy this time of year, so it can be difficult to check items in simply due to the high inbound volume. So like if you normally ship using pallets, you may want to transition to small parcel delivery. This is also known as SPD. This allows you to ship cases more frequently and stay on top of out of stocks. So these shipments usually arrive faster than less than truckload or pallet shipments. So if you are cutting it close, you may want to opt into SPD to give yourself a better chance of getting your units live. Another important thing to note, make sure you properly label each individual unit as well as the box when you're sending them to the fulfillment center. Once you've sent out your shipment, also make sure to provide tracking information. So this will give the fulfillment center notice when they can expect your inventory to come in, which can improve the efficiency of checking in your items overall. So another thing I wanted to touch on the topic of FBA, we do have an FBA promotion going on right now. It's called the FBA New Selection Program. It's geared towards new FBA sellers and provides a few benefits. I'm just going to go over two of them right now. So we do provide a $100 shipping credit for you as a seller to send your products to the fulfillment center as long as you use a partnered carrier. Then we also offer up to $200 in sponsored product promotional click credits and free campaign creation on Amazon. So how the click credits work, you receive $100 when you enroll and launch a campaign with no end date for an FBA ASIN, and then you can earn an additional $100 if you advertise that FBA ASIN for at least 30 days.
Awesome. New selection is one of the most best kept secrets I think that we have here at Amazon, and a lot of sellers aren't taking advantage of the $200 in promotional credits and those $100 in shipping credits on getting that product into a fulfillment center. So it's definitely something that any seller here should be looking into. And as we take off of FBA, let's jump into how we can talk about boosting our product visibility, boosting product discoverability. Let's go into sponsored products and advertising budgets. So, do you have any best practices that you can suggest for our sellers here, Daryush?
Yeah, of course. So advertising can be a great way to increase your sales during the holidays. During this time, it's common for sellers to increase their bids and their budgets to capitalize on the increase in traffic. Since bidding strategies become more aggressive, it is recommended to review your current campaign's budgets and bids to stay competitive as well. You might also want to consider adding in campaigns or expanding keywords to include holiday terms like holiday gift for mom or like Christmas gift for brother or other keywords that just generally relate to gifting. So next, I'm just going to go over some general sponsored products holiday tips. To start off, advertise all products. This will help increase your reach across products in your inventory, which can also improve visibility and conversion overall. As we discussed earlier, consider raising your daily budgets and bids. We recommend doing both by 2 times or higher. So with the increased holiday traffic, higher daily budgets can help meet the demand and just help you reach more customers interested in your products. So turning to creating campaigns, there are two different types of sponsored products campaigns that you can create. There's a manual targeting campaign and an automatic targeting campaign. Manual targeting allows the seller to choose which keywords they want to incorporate in their campaign, while automatic, Amazon will choose those keywords for you. So with manual campaigns, you can choose to target specific keywords that customers search, as well as products that may relate to your listing. For example, products can be like complements, substitutes, like products, etc. So we recommend targeting keywords as well as products when creating your campaign, just to help your products reach the largest relevant audience. In terms of placement, this refers to where your ads appear on the screen. So you can bid on top of search as well as rest of search. Top of search will put you on the first page, specifically targeting the first row, while rest of search refers to ads placed anywhere else. So this can be the middle, the bottom, the second page, and beyond. So naturally, top search placements can yield a greater amount of impressions, but you should also expect more competitive bids to be associated as well. There are also placements that refer to product pages. So this means that your product is advertised on other product detail pages and all non-search placements, for example, like the add to cart page. When choosing your placements, you want to make sure that you refine your bids accordingly as well, just so you can appear where you want. The final thing I'll cover is negative keywords. So negative keywords are search terms that you don't want your ads showing up for. So for example, let's imagine you as a seller, you're selling eyeglasses. You've created a campaign and one of the search terms is glasses. You may not want to add wine as a negative keyword, so shoppers searching for wine glasses will not be shown your product. Therefore, refining your bidding strategy to target keywords can actually help you, or excuse me, therefore refining your strategy and incorporating negative keywords can help your ads appear for people actually searching for your product.
A lot of great tips there, Dayush. I appreciate that. After going into product visibility, how we can boost your product discoverability, we've covered how you guys can get your products into a fulfillment center on time. Let's jump into some holiday themes. So leveraging the holiday season with relevant products and variations can be a very successful strategy. But Dariush, are there any strategies for product selection that can help sellers during the holidays?
Yeah, since the holidays support gift giving, I would recommend adding variations or bundles of your products. These can be considered holiday gift sets and they become very popular around this time of year. Holiday gift sets are just a great way to offer like a deal on larger purchases. So if you're a brand owner as well, you can consider using virtual bundles towards this exact same strategy. So on the topic of leveraging the holidays, it's important to note some changes in regards to sale price as well. During the holiday season, sale prices may no longer display with strike-through pricing. So instead of using a sale price during this time, I would recommend using coupons instead. With
Mm,
coupons, you'll get additional badging, which highlights you on the screen compared to your competitors. And then you can also be featured on the Today's Deals page and the Amazon coupons page.
I love that tip about coupons. That's one of the things that I talk to my sellers a lot about, just because you get that bright green banner across the page, it draws your eye in. It's super key for getting some additional product visibility. And finally, the last topic, or one of the last topics we'll be diving into, will be last minute shoppers. Are there any strategies for capitalizing on last minute shoppers?
Yeah, so lots of shoppers wait until the last minute to buy products. I know I've been there myself. I'm sure some of you guys have been there as well. I would recommend utilizing aggressive deals and promotions towards the end of the season. Additionally, many of these shoppers likely need their items as soon as possible. So make sure to just offer like the fastest delivery time you can so you can capitalize on these season ending sales.
Got you. And so the sellers in the audience, you guys have options for holiday preparation. You guys can ship products out yourself. You guys can utilize FBA. But for the sellers who are handling their own shipping, also known as merchant fulfilled, MFN, fulfilled by merchant, FBM, all those different terms, what steps should they be taking to best prepare for the holiday season?
Yeah, so sellers who handle shipping and fulfillment themselves should consider adding expedited and 1 or 2 day shipping options. You should also be able to create migrated templates within Seller Central to add to all or specific listings. So for example, let's say you have a few listings in your inventory that you can fulfill today, but the other ones you can't. This is where you can create a migrated shipping template and apply it to those specific products just for the holidays, or you can use it indefinitely as well. Also, you do want to make sure that you check your stock levels regularly and pay extra attention to your promoted inventory. Another thing to note, around the holiday season, some offers delivery messaging may change. For example, listings may say like arriving before Christmas or may not arrive before Christmas. This all depends on how fast you can ship to the specified location in relation to the upcoming holiday. This is important to note as it sets expectations with your customers who are going to be purchasing your products.
Gotcha. All of that stuff is key there. And so one of the last topics we'll be covering here, seller performance. This is everything that pertains to your seller's account health, your performance notifications. We often receive questions about performance metrics. Your seller performance and shipping metrics can have a huge impact on the success that you will see when selling in the Amazon store, especially during the very busy holiday seasons. So, are there any metrics sellers should be paying particular attention to during the holiday season?
Yep, all metrics are important, but I would say that there are two that I think are the most important, especially during the holiday season. So one of them is going to be your cancellation rate, also known as CR, and then the other one will be your late shipment rate, also known as LSR. So these metrics are often used in this time to identify seller performance issues, and if they're not up to par, accounts can easily be suspended. So as reference, your late shipment rate should be under 4% trailing the last 30 days, and then your cancellation rate should be under 2.5% trailing the last 7 days. One way that you can help preserve these metrics is to maintain necessary staff levels. So just making sure that you have the people, or making sure that you have the amount of people that you need to help avoid late shipments and other issues. And then it can also help to keep accurate inventory levels and then update them frequently. This way you can help avoid canceled orders and orders just due to delays in shipping. So because we know at the end of the season it does get a little bit crazy. So it can definitely be worth it to hire a few extra people just to make sure that your account stays in good health for this high traffic time.
Perfect. And so that concludes the topics that we will be covering here today on this webinar here as you guys prepare for the holiday season. Let us jump into some questions from the audience and see if there's something we can answer here.
Okay, so we do have a couple of questions that have yet to be answered. So one question that was asked for FBA New Seller Selection Program, if if a seller sends in an FBA order, can they still enroll to the program?
Yes, so I believe there is a 30 to 60 day leadway period after sending in your first shipment. There's also just no harm in enrolling in the program. And the next time that you do send out your next FBA shipment, if the shipping cost says 0 after you've selected a partnered carrier, it means that the credits have gone in.
Awesome. One other question that we have here is how to get a holiday gift guide or holiday toy list banner / badge. Was there a deadline to apply or chosen specifically by Amazon?
So I believe the badges are chosen by Amazon. I don't know if there's a way that you can actually opt into getting a specific badge on your listing, like #1 new release or something like that. I believe that's chosen by Amazon itself. Unless
Okay,
you guys have
awesome.
any other comments on that.
Yeah, that is the process that I believe that happens too. It gets chosen for those banners and badges. Let's see. Was a question in regards to so does the first order before September 1st requirement need to be fulfillment by merchant or FBA to be able to send fulfillment by merchant in toys and games? So that I believe for the clarification in regards to that question, is there any clarification in regards to that question that we can have by the person that asked that question in regards to that? Let's see. So we'll go on to the next question while we're waiting for that. So how competitive would a new seller be during the holiday season?
Competitive in terms of like advertising, or
So I believe the seller's trying to ask if they are a new seller, how competitive would it be if they're coming onto the platform against other sellers that have already been on the platform, let's say selling for a couple of months? How can a new seller come in and be competitive?
yeah, that's a great question. So I don't know if it's necessarily going to be more competitive than it normally is. I would say maybe in terms of advertising from the get-go, the prices may be a little more inflated just because of the competition that's going on during these high traffic days. But at the same time, it could also play the other way. Since there is so much more traffic, it can give you more opportunity for you to start launching your store. Um, I guess it does kind of depend as well in terms of like the category that you want to go into, the level of competition related to your products. But overall, I would say it's probably a great time to enter the store right now, just due to the amount of the amount of customers that are going to be coming in. Um, Also, just the amount of opportunity that you have to kind of get your products out there.
Yeah, if I can jump in on that as
Yeah, and
well, I
speaking
think
of,
it also just depends on if you are like a brand trying to jump out and create something, you're probably going to have a bit of difficulty just from not having the name recognition. But if you are just a seller who's coming on and you're selling a product that already exists on Amazon, you're just offering a better price, you're offering the product itself, you're giving the customer what they want, it's a great time for you to get in.
yeah, and just to piggyback off that, just utilizing all of our advertising strategies that we've gone over will really just help boost you as a seller in those categories. Another question we have is, I've launched my product in high competition. Do you have, or can you share any PPC strategy for rankings, please?
Yes, so I would say when you just start off with your campaign, you want to start off with an automatic targeting campaign with minimum budget of $20 a day, and you want to run that for 2 weeks to a month before you start optimizing. So you want to start out with a large data pool of keywords that are producing clicks, keywords that are producing sales, and then also keywords that are producing clicks and no sales. Once you get a good amount of data on which keywords are working for you and which keywords aren't, then you can start to leverage manual targeting in addition to running an automatic campaign in the background. So from here, you would start leveraging manual targeting, and you would be bidding more aggressively on keywords that you know are proven to make sales because you have a higher chance of converting on those. And then on the back end, you'll have keywords that have produced clicks, but they haven't produced any sales for you. If there are keywords that have like over 25, 30 clicks, they may not necessarily pertain directly to your listing. They're just causing you spend. So then you can add those as negative keywords into your automatic targeting campaign to reduce the ACoS on that. I think that answers the question, just to start off there.
Yeah, I think that was a great talking point for that. So the next question is, when is the cutoff date for FBA centers to check in the inventory? I can answer this. Those dates have not been announced yet, but in past years, they have been the last Friday of October or the first Friday of November. I would just make sure to just keep updated and look out for those dates to send in your inventory for FBA.
And something to add on to that as well, those are just the dates that guarantee that your inventory will be live. So there's still a chance that they could be, but those are like the official dates to be like, okay, your inventory will be live. I hope that clears that up a little bit.
If we can draw
We have
back
another.
to what we were discussing in the actual presentation, small parcel delivery is also just going to help that seller out with getting that inventory checked in quicker as we do approach those deadlines and dates whenever they do come out.
Moving on to the next one, I have difficulty placing my products on the Seller Central site. Anyone I should reach out to get me through the process of listing? I would recommend reaching out to our seller support team. They can help you with the creation of listing your first product. They're 24 hours, 7 days a week support. I can put the link on how to contact seller support in the chat for you guys, for anyone that does need that help. You just create a case. You can explain what you are having issues with, and then this team will help you out in those types of issues. And I'll put the link for everyone to see to contact seller support.
Yeah, and I'd also recommend utilizing Seller University too. There are a lot of really good tutorial videos on there. They're short and they're to the point, and they show you exactly what it's like to list it on like the new version of Seller Central as well.
Let's see, looking for the next question. So someone is asking if we can restate the information about fulfillment, the slide in regards to FBA that we went over.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
So they're just asking if we can go over the information on slide 5 in regards to FBA.
Yes, so this is where we discussed using small parcel delivery versus shipping with pallets or truckloads, just so you can get your inventory in a faster, more efficiently, essentially. And then the other thing that was touched on was the new selection program. And there was the $100 shipping credit in addition to $200 in sponsored ads click credits. And then I think the last point that we discussed was basically just making sure that each individual unit has the label on it, in addition to the box that's housing those units when you're sending them to FBA. And once you've sent those units in, you want to make sure that you've uploaded the tracking information back into your shipping plan. So this way, the fulfillment center will have a better idea of when your products are coming in so they can check it in more efficiently.
I also included a link to our FBA new seller selection program in Seller Central, where it gives you all the details, and that's the link where you can enroll into that program for all you new sellers using FBA. So going on to the next question, we have seen a lot of carrier delays recently. Does Amazon plan to keep this in mind when it comes to metrics?
I think they have the metrics pretty set in stone. If you do see delays with merchant fulfilled shipping, I would again opt to use a migrated shipping plan to give yourself a little more leadway time. Maybe don't offer 2-day expedited shipping if you don't think you're going to have the capacity of doing it. And then you can give yourself more leadway time to maintain your metrics.
The second question, or the next question, is there a guide for FBA, or is there a guide for packaging for FBA? I will put that help page in the chat for everyone to see. There's a packaging and prep requirements. So this goes over that question that you're asking, and I'll send that to everyone in the webinar right now, so you guys can access that link and have that handy. So can a new seller participate? If this is in regards to FBA new seller selection, a new seller can participate. If it's in regards to the ads and coupons, new sellers can participate as well. The next question was, why don't we see our products in the 7-day deals page, even if they are eligible for deals?
So it's a situation that they have been recommended the deal and they have submitted the deal and they're still not seeing their product in the deals page.
Yeah, I believe that's the question being asked. So why don't we see our products in the 7-day deals page, even if they are eligible for deals?
So when you are running deals as well, it may just be hard to like organically find your product inside of there. Usually when people run deals, it's smart to couple it with sponsored products as well, so you can get search rank within your 7-day deal too. I assume that it was most likely in there, but it was probably just difficult to find just due to its organic search rank within the deals page.
Okay, the next question would be, what are the best practices for updating the product detail page with holiday images and text?
So are you discussing essentially editing your information to make it more holiday themed?
Yeah, that's essentially what the question seems like it's more based on.
Yeah, do we have any like quick holiday guides?
I believe the process would just be the same as you going in and editing your listing for holiday images and text. I don't believe there's necessarily a help page on that, but it would just be the same workflow as you going in and editing your product detail page. So let's see, the next question. For SPD, how much slower should we expect receiving of inventory? For example, if I saw it typically takes 5 days to receive some of the inventory, should I expect 10, 15 to 20 days?
So it really just depends on the fulfillment center that you're shipping to. there isn't really like a clear answer that I can give you. But generally it takes between 1 and 4 weeks for a shipment that has been sent from you to get fully checked in into the fulfillment center. During the holidays, it's probably going more towards the back end of that estimation. But there aren't any concrete or there aren't really any concrete numbers that I can give you there, but it will be delayed most likely during the holiday season.
I just want to add that the small parcel delivery is going to be quicker than the actual pallet delivery. So it's like I think in the question there they said should they expect it to take longer with small parcel, and it's the opposite. So the suggested way that you're sending it in is with a small parcel delivery or case pack shipment over a truckload or a pallet.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yep. On to the next one. So can Amazon share when they expect the peak sales day will occur for this holiday due to COVID? For you go ahead. So I don't believe that we have an exact day where the peak sales will occur. That's not information that we necessarily have on hand, just due to COVID and that situation. Is there any more information you guys can maybe provide? Yeah, so generally there's not an exact date that we have for the peak sales that will occur for this holiday season. So what date should fulfillment orders be in for Black Friday and Christmas holiday?
So as we discussed earlier, the guaranteed dates were the last Friday of October in the past and also the first Friday of November. The official dates haven't been announced yet.
Awesome, thank you for answering that. So generally speaking, across all categories, what level of sales increase percentage-wise should be expected for Black Friday and Cyber Monday relative to Amazon Prime Day? Trying to determine how Black Friday and Cyber Monday typically stack up against Amazon Prime Day.
I personally don't have any direct numbers that relate to the percentage increase or if they're similar. I would assume that just due to the high traffic, the amount of traffic over those days should be, I would say, similar. But do you guys have any other thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have concrete numbers that we can throw out for that. I would say as far as expectations, it is the holiday season, so we can't really throw out a number. We just expect more traffic, and depending on that person's product category, they can see higher amounts or higher multiples amounts of traffic or less compared to like another product.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. How do you know how to price things during the holiday season? Are there any tools or recommendations?
So pricing is really up to the seller and what you guys are comfortable using as leverage to increase your sales as well. So it depends on your profit margin, the profit margin that you want to maintain. It is important to note though that if you want to stay competitive in your market sometimes and you see a lot of people using coupons, it could be a good way to stay competitive as well.
Next question. Does video ad campaign help on keyword ranking?
So video ads, they do use keywords, but it's also a different bidding like category. So you'll be like bidding against other keywords that relate to like sponsored brands videos versus like a general sponsored products like normal campaign. So your keywords they could be the same, but they're not necessarily in the same school of bids that would be going for like general sponsored products. I hope that answers the question there.
On to the next question. Will there be Black Friday deal badges much like Prime Day deals? If so, what is the process to opt in? I believe that we did kind of go over this. Do you guys know much on the Black Friday deal badges? Just like the Prime deal days.
I think the badges associate with people who are running deals and yeah.
I would lean towards it to associating with that, and then potentially the amount off. As far as what that amount is, off the top of my head, I do not know.
So yeah, that I agree with you guys. Next question, another question on the FBA new seller selection program. I looked at the link. We aren't eligible right now because we are an individual account. But if we change the account to professional, would we still be eligible?
Yes.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do upgrade to that professional account, you'll be able to get those credits to your account. Next question, can you give an idea of what days result in higher sales outside of the holidays themselves, i.e. how long is the lead up period?
I think just jumping into this period of time right now, like we're approaching the holiday season. So I would say the sales that you're seeing right now are going to be lower than the ones that you're going to be seeing in November as we get closer to that period. So there's the lead up period where we have deals running, where more sales are coming through. And then we have the actual period in like December before Christmas. So just speaking about dates that aren't, Black Friday or Cyber Monday, it's generally this entire period, as we're in the holiday season where they would expect higher sales.
Awesome, thank you for that. So next question is, will Amazon refuse my shipment if they arrived after this date? So I believe the question is regarding, will they refuse the shipment if they arrived after the deadline for sending in products to FBA?
So I think that also comes down to the fulfillment center's processing capacity. I think they're just not guaranteeing anything because it depends on the inbound volume that they're facing at that time. So there's a chance that it could be in there and there's a chance that it can't. It really just depends on the fulfillment center and how much capacity they have to take on new inventory.
Yeah, and adding on to that and going through the shipment process, once those cutoff dates are there, it might not even let you create a new shipment, just to ensure that you're not sending in products and that our fulfillment centers aren't able to take in those products. So next question is, what if my inventory is on the way, but I'm pretty sure it will arrive in early December due to the port congestion? In this case, will Amazon warehouse still check in my inventory?
Yes, it will still check in your inventory if it's already been sent right now. It just may not get in the time that you were expecting originally.
Next question, it'll be my first Q4. I know that it depends on each specific product, but my monthly average of sales is around 300 units. What would be an expected number of units I might be selling? My product is giftable. I just want to be prepared.
Again, I don't think we can provide any concrete numbers there, but it also just depends on if you plan to advertise your product, if you plan to use coupons, etc. And those will all be levers, especially if you have a holiday gift product, that you could play into the way that you want to forecast the amount of units that you want to send in.
So yeah, that's spot on for that question. Another question is, are we going to be sending out the recording from today?
Yeah, I believe it'll be posted to Seller University. In the search bar, you can type in webinars, and then you'll see the title of this one in there. I'm not sure on the exact date it'll be published, but it will be in there eventually.
Awesome, thank you. I've been having a horrible experience with seller support to get them to reimburse 3 of my ASINs to fix in the FBA fee. Any advice?
So I would say something when you're trying to get reimbursed for maybe an issue with FBA, if you do have any records of like the weight of the product of the shipment that you sent in, maybe with the carrier that you used, you can use that as evidence in your claim. And that can normally help spur the investigation, because you do need actual evidence of like, okay, let's say for example that you sent in like 20 units and they only checked in 5. You could be like, the weight of these 20 units would equal X and the box received was this amount. So you can use that as evidence for missing units that you could submit to your claim. Do you guys have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, and I would be maybe trying to get on a phone call with the seller support as well. If you're doing over just email, they can maybe go on a back and forth on emails. Getting that support on the phone could help identify and resolve the issue quicker than having just over the email support. So I'd recommend maybe reaching out and trying to get that phone call for them to call you so you can get that resolved. Next question, will the restock limit at FBA be getting better?
So the restock limit, it's originally it's set. It's like 1,000 units for like small/medium, 1,000 units for large, and then 1,000 for like apparel and clothing. And then depending on how you as a seller, what your sell-through rate is with your inventory, then it'll change every 2 weeks. So if you send in a lot of inventory that you don't have the ability to send in quickly, it can actually get worse. If you send in an appropriate amount of inventory and you sell through it in an efficient manner, it'll get better. So it really just depends on how fast you as a seller can sell your inventory in FBA.
One quick correction, it's weekly. So it's every Sunday that'll update for the seller.
Great.
So the next question we have is, how do you know how much you have used up for the shipping and advertising costs from the new seller selection program? I have a link that shows your FBA new seller selection dashboard that I'll be sending to everyone in this. You can use that dashboard to get a gauge of how much credits you have inside of the FBA new seller selection, and those will give you those numbers that you're looking for. Next question, do you have any PDF file of Amazon PPC strategies?
Yes, we do. Let me see if I can find it and we can get it out to them.
Awesome, that'd be great.
Also on Seller University, there are some videos just kind of about like bidding strategy, leveraging automatic and manual targeting as well. I'd highly recommend looking at those two just for a baseline knowledge.
Next question we have is how to lower the cancellation rate. So is this I'm assuming this is in regards to orders and cancellation from the seller and buyer side.
So it's buyers canceling orders that they've like put in, correct?
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. Yeah, when buyers cancel on the seller.
I don't know if I have any tips for that, honestly. Do you guys?
Yeah,
I would lean towards just trying to see if there's a way to improve the product detail page, the pictures, make sure it's as obvious as possible what the product the customer should be receiving. Make sure the bullet points are on point and explaining exactly what the product does and its features and benefits. And that should lead to less cancellations just from people not understanding what the product is or changing their mind after the fact.
let's see right here. Just 1 second, guys. So the next question, when my product doesn't have any suggested deals, can I still create deals, or do I need to go to do I need to get the suggestion on the deal page first?
Sorry, could you repeat that one?
When my product doesn't have any suggested deals, can I still create deals, or do I need to go to the suggestion on the deal page first?
Yeah, so deals are on a recommendation basis. So if you don't have any deals, as you go into your deals tab and you click create new deal, That just means that Amazon isn't offering you any deals on the specific ASINs in your inventory right now.
Great, thank you. Next question. I'm a brand owner and Amazon seller, and I'm not able to see demographics on the brand analytics. I think this will be very useful for the holiday advertising. Any tips?
Give me one sec.
So in regards to being the brand owner, you're going to want to, if you are registered through brand registry, you can get that brand linked to your account, and then you should be able to see those brand analytics in your brand dashboard. So you're going to want to make sure that you are enrolled into brand registry and have that brand linked to your Seller Central account, so you can get those analytics for your specific brand. So for that question, if you haven't reached out to brand registry, I recommend reaching out to them and providing them your brand and the trademark number and getting that set up with your Seller Central account. Do you guys have anything else on that?
Nope, I think you're spot on there.
Awesome. Next question, what is the recommended quantity to maintain for a seller selling 80 units a day in a holiday season?
So I would always urge on forecasting your inventory based on your past sales history. So if you see that you're selling 80 units over the course of the entire holiday season, maybe like you could send in 160 a little bit beforehand. So in the case that you do have a little bit of extra wiggle room to promote your products, utilize advertising, you do have a little bit more space to kind of capitalize on the influx in traffic.
Quick clarification, did the seller say that they were selling 80 units a day?
Yeah, so what is the recommended quantity to maintain for a seller selling 80 units a day in holiday season?
Yeah, I think for them, it's going to come down to how often they can get those shipments into a fulfillment center if they're, fulfilling by Amazon. And then it comes down to like their inventory limits. So only they're going to know how many units they have in stock and how many days they expect that to still be available, pending like it's selling through, and how often they need to ship those shipments into FBA in order to just maintain the sales velocity that they're seeing there.
Awesome, thank you. Next question. The status of one of my shipments to FBA September 15th is closed, and not all the units have been received.
Yeah.
They should be able to go through the reconciliation process, shouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go through that process, or reaching out to seller support too to see where that inventory is. Could be another good route to go.
Yeah, and how you would do that is you would go to your shipping queue, and then you could hit track shipment on the one that's closed. And then through that tab, there should be a option to report like for an investigation of your units or go for reconciliation. So just go through those steps, and then you'll be prompted on the next screen on what you can do to kind of figure out the best outcome for your units.
So going back to the question regarding peak, my question was, when do you expect the peak to begin rather than a specific peak day? So when do we expect the holiday peak to begin?
So the peak before the actual days that are the holiday?
Yeah, that's what it seems like the question is. My question is, when do you expect the peak to begin rather than a specific peak day? So when do we think that the holiday peaks will begin? I believe that it would start next month for Black Friday. That's when it's going to start. Things are going to start picking up. Just ensuring that you do start sending in your inventory to FBA when those dates do come out.
Yeah, I would also suggest it's, rather than thinking about it as like a peak, it's almost going to be like a sine wave where it's going to slowly ramp up. It's going to hit like a top. It'll dip a little bit, but then we're going to increase again as we head into the Christmas season.
Next question, can a new seller ship both FBA or FBM during Q4?
Yes.
Yeah, the answers to that. You can do both FBM or FBA. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. Let's see. How is Amazon taking seasonal sale SKUs into restock limit max units set by account?
I'm not
The
sure if
restock
anything is.
limits, yeah, the restock
So,
limits are all going to be set by their inventory levels and like the sell-through rate. So it's like as far as a seasonal item having a limit, it's going to come down to that seller making sure that they can get their limits increased in time.
And then you can check this in like your inventory planning dash. So you should be able to, there's an inventory planning tab in Seller Central, and you can see what your IPI score is, and that's what dictates what your restock limits are.
let's see, next question. I see that there are many sellers who use non-white background main images to attract more traffic during holiday seasons. So does Amazon take any action on that?
Yeah,
might be,
yeah, go
yes,
for it.
go for it.
So yeah, generally you have to have a pure white background, and it just may have not been caught yet. And normally, once it's noticed that it's not up to the Amazon guidelines for image requirements, those listings will be suppressed.
Great. Let's go to the
We'll
next
just add,
question.
we've got about 7 minutes left.
Okay, let's try and get through as many questions as we can. I've been having a hard time with variations. Although to set up correctly, according to seller support, Amazon's system separates the variation family. It's hard to fix the problem since I or seller support doesn't know what's wrong. Is there any other support I can get? I'm also brand registered.
So I would
Right.
recommend using an inventory file upload. A lot of the times inventory file uploads can like recorrect issues that are occurring on like the general website. There is a video on Seller University about how to do like bulk variation uploads, and you can use that as a reference on kind of how to make those edits to your SKUs. But instead of there will be a tab in your inventory file upload where it'll be like partial update or full update. Here, you're actually going to add just partial update, so it only will change parts of your listings without like completely taking them off.
We also have we have a variation wizard tool. So it's adding a variation using our variation wizard tool that I'll put into the chat for everyone to see. This just allows you, it's an interactive tool that allows you to create parent-child variation relationships in bulk and using an auto-populated inventory file template, as mentioned, that can maybe help alleviate some of the pain that you are experiencing in regarding to that. Let's see. So even though I have a screenshot of units received, they did not accept this as evidence and close my case for a $300 missing products. I believe that's FBA or inventory that's sent into FBA that's missing. So you were charged $300, and seller support closed out their case. I would recommend creating a new case with seller support in regards to that. Any other takes that you guys might have in regards to a shipment that might be lost or units that might be lost for inventory?
Unfortunately, I don't know if I have any other pathways after submitting your case with the evidence. So they did submit with like documentation from like their like UPS, for example, that had the weight of the products that they could supply, right?
Yeah, that's what you suggested that they should do, and upload. So I believe that maybe creating a new case with those dimensions and documentation, just so you can have the best information for that team to review that shipment, would be the best route to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Going on to the next question, what are the factors affecting bestseller rank? Because I'm selling a steady amount of units each days, 1,000 units a month, but still my BSR is not improving. What should I do?
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
What are the factors affecting bestseller rank? Because I'm selling a steady amount of units each days, about 1,000 units a month, but still my bestseller rank is not improving. What should I do?
I am not sure on that one. Do you guys have any comments?
I've got nothing for you.
Yeah, bestseller rank. I would just continue to advertise your units, making sure that you are getting those sales as they move along. I don't have much further recommendation on that question either.
I think we
Next
have time for
question.
maybe one or two more questions.
Okay, we'll do one more question. What's the peak for Amazon receiving? Items are sitting for 3 weeks now. Do you expect this to get a longer as Christmas approaches?
I would expect it to get longer for sure. If they're sending in on pallets, I would expect even longer delays. If possible, ship in via case packed deliveries or small parcel delivery, and that should expedite the process as much as they possibly can.
Okay, awesome. We'll do one more question. Is there a standard on how many quantities have to be sent to Amazon for FBA per shipment?
No standard. As much product as they can get in is the ideal. But if they have one unit and they want to send in one unit to a fulfillment center, by all means, they should do it.
Yeah, there is no minimum amount.
Awesome.
And so I hope that answers as many questions as we possibly could get to. I hope you guys are prepared for the holiday season. I hope it's successful for you. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Special thank you to Dariush. Thank you to Connor for handling the chat. And that will conclude our holiday session on the holiday season at Amazon. So thank you and have a great time selling in the store.
Thank you everyone for attending.
Thanks, everyone.